I ask for the truth on behalf of Lindsay Gordon concerning a relationship issues. Been married for about 10 plus years with 4 kids, but is now separated, and should you stick it out, or for the sake of the kids, or shall we go with our gut feeling now? What's this about? Let's just have a note about just said, haven't we? I was asked for guidance and insight here in the name of truth, right conduct, peace, love and non-violence. Blessed be to the truth always. And of course, as you know, you should know by now, Lindsay, that we have a twin destiny. We have a natural destiny and a supernatural destiny. And the cards lock on to the supernatural. Let's deal out 3 cards for this particular situation here. The first card we deal is in the possession of the recent past. That's a period of time roughly between now and this time last month, as you know, or should do. The next one is the present, so that's the present influence, so that's self-explanatory really, isn't it? You could say last 3 days, next 3 days, that sort of current quarter phase, whereas the recent past is sort of like between now and this time last month, the last month, as you'd say. Let's just see, we're just going up to a full moon, aren't we? Let's just see what the next card will be, and that's in the position of the immediate future, so that's a bit the other way around to the recent past, between now and this time next month, which is of course usually a month is measured from one new moon to the next, or I suppose it's from, in this particular case, one waxing crescent or waxing gibbous, or whatever you want to call it, coming up to the fall, up to the next time it's coming up to its fall. That's that sort of thing. But what was going on between the last time it was at this sort of phase, the just coming up to its fall, that sort of period? Let's just pull out this first card here, and we'll just deal the card and flip it nice and slowly here, not to disturb the energy. Notice here we've got the energy of the dragon. The dragon represents strength and wisdom, of course. I suppose just recently you could, I suppose you'd agree that we have become stronger and wiser for it, for what's been going on. We've become stronger and wiser for it, and it's that I suppose leads to one thing to another, of course. But in the particular case, it's been a case of maybe the separation was due to becoming stronger. I'm not sitting around and taking this, I can say no if I want to do. You can say no to me all the time. Why can't I say no to you? And she's gone and bloody done it. Oh God. And thus sort of seals that fate. Or do you believe in destiny? Depends. What's going on at present? What's going on at present here? We'll just pull out the first card here, and we'll just see what's ticking over here for the present around about the last 3 days, next 3 days. Not an exact measurement, of course. It's just a rough sort of guide to how I sort of perceive it or read it. The raven there indicating that darkness looms on the horizon, as if, I suppose, we didn't know. No gold star for guessing that one. Go to the top of the class anyway if everybody else doesn't know. But certainly it's a bit like when you hurt yourself and you get a wound or something like that, or you break your leg or something, or whatever it is. It's going to get worse before it gets better, and that's what it appears to be that I'm getting there. It says, as night follows day. basically. Which I suppose is not a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know. Is it what is it? Let's just see what the immediate future is. Is this particular card here? Is this a negative energy in the sense it could actually be positive in that way because forewarned is forearmed, or is it beware of complacency and there's a bit of good coming up? I don't know. I was sort of a bit mediocre there with the Mystic Circle. Just indicating there in this particular deck, it indicates that your abilities will become enhanced over the next 3 or 4 weeks or so between now and the next time the moon is approaching its full. By the next full moon, your ability to cope, I suppose, really. I suppose you don't have to get over it or whatever. It's just moving on and coping with it. And yeah, I suppose you can sit around and take it, but that's kicking the can down the road, as you should say, metaphorically, of course, assuming the can isn't a person. But laughing and joking apart, which isn't funny really, but you know, a nervous smile there. I'm wondering what actually we could consult regarding this. I've got these power animal energies here, these power animal oracle energies here that may be able to help. If we just shuffle here, and we're just asking for your power totem, I suppose, to appear and give us some advice for you there. In the name of truth, right conduct, peace, love and non-violence, blessed be to Raven and all the power animal spirits who guide, heal and protect, and Raven, of course, as king in this deck. It's energised with that vibration. Let's just see what we've got here. Another strange one, although who knows. We've got the Pelican there focusing on forgiveness. There's a problem with forgiveness. Yeah, let go of your judgments, of course. Let go of your judgments. No doubt. But what are we trying to achieve, I suppose? Well, forgiveness is a problem. That's the soul part that's got lost in the void. It usually focuses, I'll call that the soul part that gets lost, and that's the solution, and how to get it back or how to retrieve it. How that power animal energy can retrieve that soul part. So I suppose sometimes you might think, oh, you know, I just don't feel myself today. I don't feel as I've got to pull myself together. I don't feel as if I'm all there. And that's in a way, that's what it is. The soul part that's got lost in the void, and really, it's I suppose to some degree there are, I suppose, certain methods, techniques that can be used in shamanism to retrieve those soul parts, as you know, called soul retrieval, of course. But in this particular case, we're just focusing on forgiveness as needed. But of course, what do we forgive? Is that the price we pay for unconditional love? I want to just see what else. We'll just pull 3 here and just see what other guidance. Immerse yourself in some form of artistic expression. Maybe write a poem or a song or something. If I knew a woman who obviously was a sort of mad on Bible bashing and stuff, and God Squad, and just kept basically kept this journal. She kept writing, then she'd rip it all up and start again. I don't know if there was a message in that where she was sort of writing about her life and what's happened or how she feels or whatever. I don't know what it was, and it was just forever ripping the pages out and starting again. And of course, in those booklet exercise book type things where it's stapled together, and she'd rip the first page out and then the back page as well, because that's part of the first page, isn't it, at the back, and then she'd end up with no pages to write on, and I sort of saw like some sort of metaphor, some sort of message, or something being said in that somehow, like a lesson in it that she's yet to find out, or maybe. But in this particular case, do you have to use a journal and write a song or something, or maybe music, just listening to music or something can help heal, or whatever. You become stronger and wiser through maybe knowing that forgiveness does work, but there's a price to pay for it. A heavy price, I suppose, to some degree. But given that you'll be learning to cope, or your abilities will be enhanced in that department of coping, what can we... Oh, it's interesting. The Black Panther. I always call it the one-spotted leopard. Just a leopard with one spot, isn't it? All over it. You can't really change it much. But the Black Panther is thought to, of course, represent empowerment, because the four-legged spirits walk on the earth and they protect, whereas the winged ones, they guide. So there's guidance and forgiveness and healing, and of course the water people, or the fish people, or whatever the healers they are there. The water people, I suppose you could call them. But the earth people are the ones who walk, the four-legged ones who walk the earth, protect. And of course there's empowerment in that, and of course it's passion, of course represents passion. Follow your passion, and just do what you're going to do anyway, which is what you're going to do, isn't it? You're not going to do any doer, or whatever. So all you can do is just as it seems to imply, just let go, immerse yourself, and just follow your passion, and do what you're going to do anyway, because you'll do what you're going to do, or whatever anybody else says, because it's you that's affected by what's done. So you have to do what you can cope with. I'm sort of sensing as though you may or may not, that's a ridiculous thing, you may or may not know the ramifications of it. You know the ramifications of forgiveness, I suppose, because that's what you've been doing. Although there's a need to, there's a need to do it now, because you've sort of become weary of forgiving. So forgiveness is needed more now, because you become weary, letting go of your judgment now. Your judgments have never been more bloody clouded, or full, I suppose, to some degree, and I suppose quite rightly so to some degree. But artistic expression may help you let go, I suppose, may help you to escape, I suppose, is that the right word? But follow your passion, and maybe once a change is as good as a rest, isn't it? So maybe the change is listening to some music, or playing some music, or getting out that violin or something, or whatever you want to do, play it for yourself, what you want to do. But I'm sort of getting that from that. But you become stronger and wiser, but yes, darkness looms on the horizon, so maybe getting through the darkness is to heal a bit, with a bit of some water energy, with the seal there, the healing energy, to immerse yourself in some form of artistic expression, or write a book or something. But do it with the pages where you have to rip the back page out every time you write on the front page, because it's connected to the back, because they're all stapled together. And then you end up with nothing, or you end up with very few pages, and then you buy a new book to start all over again, and the whole process starts again. That's I've always seen the lesson in that. I've just always seen the lesson in that, and there's nothing I could tell her, nothing I could say, just buy loads of bloody books and just get through, because it's been the same thing all the time. So it's just it's a coping mechanism. They always say the act of writing it down helps you remember. I've sometimes done that with shopping lists and written them down, and then bloody lost them in the bottom of the shopping trolley or something when I put shopping in there on top of them. And I've remembered, because it's just the act of writing it down helps you remember. So write it down anyway, and even if you never actually read what you've written, It's just the act of doing it that helps you remember whatever. It's interesting, that it's true, that. So maybe there's that going on. But following your passion and doing what you've got to do, and empowering yourself. The Black Panther, of course, is, as we know, walks through the darkness, walks through the shadows, and maybe goes toward the light. That's for you, isn't it? That's the thing that gives you your independence there, I suppose. So from guidance to healing and then protection after, to protect yourself, you follow your passion, which is all you can do. Just do what you want to do anyway, because like as you said, you've got to do what's best for you at the end of the day. I know that sounds selfish, but I suppose you can't take care of kids or show any concern for the kids if you were all fucked up, can you? But if you're empowered and just out of it a bit, you can probably have an independent view again. Right, so what we'll do then, we'll leave that there. So I think Spirit has spoken there now for now. So we shall cast a dark shadow of supernatural truth over all of these cards. That not much of a shadow there because the light's coming from in front of us instead of behind us. So we'll just do that and just declare that now these cards for you have spoken.